On Nationwide this evening, a major initiative bringing together tourist interests from 4 Munster counties under the banner Munster Vales. We travel through the Corry Mountains, the Knockmeal Downs and the Galties and hear of the plans to pool resources to draw tourists to this beautiful part of Ireland which straddles the 4 counties of Cork, Tipperary, Limerick and Waterford. Tá fáilte roimh chuige Gloria. Welcome to Nationwide, where this evening we will be exploring the Munster Vales. This is a new tourism initiative that extends over 4 counties and incorporates 5 mountain ranges. Munster Vales promotes the geographical area linking the counties of Waterford, Limerick, Cork and Tipperary, exploring the mountains and valleys of the Corries, the Knockmeal Downs, the Galties, Ballyhura and the Nagels. The area really has a lot to offer, including unrivalled vistas, lush valleys, surging rivers, cascading waterfalls and a rugged coastline. Helen, I don't think you could find a nicer place to start our journey than here with the fabulous Glen of Aherlow behind us.
It's absolutely gorgeous, Mary. It's a beautiful location.
Helen Morrissey is with the Glen of Aherlow walking trails. And we looked out with the weather. The sun is shining on it.
The sun is shining. I'd love to be able to say the sun always shines in Aherlow, but I'm not quite sure I'd get away with that.
It's fab. And what mountains are they now?
We're looking at the Galties across from us, Mary. Fabulous peaks. There's, I think, 9 peaks there, 5 lakes out there, so a lot of opportunities for people to explore.
Majestic.
Absolutely.
We'll talk a little bit more about the Galties in a while, but explain to us, Helen, the thinking behind this Munster Vales project.
It's a new initiative, Mary, that was launched in October of last year, but it goes back maybe 2-3 years before that. And basically the thinking is it's for the rural communities where you have tourism initiatives, and it's a matter of bringing all, I suppose it's inter-county, it's inter-community, it's inter-agency. And initially it started out around the mountain ranges. You have the Knockmeal Downs, the Galties, the Corries, the Nagels and the Ballyhouras. Those are the regions. So it's quite a sizable region. But I think the good thing about it is that you have so many different groups and agencies working together. County councils are on board. You have the community development groups, the leader companies, you have the local enterprise offices, as well as the community groups. So it's a whole collaboration of all these people working together.
So borders are gone.
Borders are gone, you know. If you're a visitor coming into this region, you know, whether you're in Cork or Limerick or Tipperary, you don't know which county you're in, you know.
Well, it's lovely to have everybody working together.
It is, and probably the benefit is for a lot of those in those regions, a very rural region, obviously, and a lot of the providers, the tourism providers who work in those regions, they're small businesses. And I think Munster Vales gives them a platform where they can meet like-minded businesses, work with them, collaborate, and work together. It gives them an opportunity to market, to promote. That's what Munster Vales is all about, you know.
Well, now, you're blessed in this area with your mountain ranges, but there are other elements, aren't there, to the Munster Vales?
There are. You know, Munster Vales, as I say, you know, centred around the mountains initially, but you have rivers, you have lakes. Going down to the Waterford coastline, we have a little bit of coastline and the ocean as well. So you have a lot of activities, be they water-based, land-based, huge range of activities.
Yeah, you've even got the cave, haven't you?
You have Mitchelstown Caves, and then you bring in the built heritage, where you have maybe Clare Castle, the Rock of Cashel. These are the bigger, I suppose, iconic features in the area. But then we're also part of Ireland's Ancient East. And probably what's happening through there is where you get people coming to the bigger, you know, the Rock of Cashel. The hope is that you'll spread them out to the smaller initiatives, which is in the rural communities, and that's what we want to see happening, where you have lots of local old churchyards, old church ruins, you know, holy wells. We have a wonderful country, Mary.
Well, even driving around here, I would just like everybody in this country to see the magnificent mountain scenery that you have. So we're leaving the lovely Glen of Aherlow behind us. You can see it over my shoulder. And now we've come to the other side of the mountain and we're going underground. The sign is a bit of a giveaway. It's a geological wonderland, isn't it?
Thanks.
Tell us about the cave, the size, the extent, all of the wonderful things we're seeing.
It was discovered in 1833 by Michael Condon, and he was quarrying in limestone at the entrance, and he lost a crowbar, and removed a few boulders, and he found the entrance. And visitors, when they enter the cave for the first 20 metres, they don't see very much. And
I know, and then it opens out into this wonderland.
Huge chambers, and they're surrounded by stalactites, stalagmites, calcite formations. You can see fossils 350 million years old.
So is this on Michael's land?
It would be. I'm the sixth generation here.
So you own this cave, John, do you?
We do, yeah. We never looked at it like that. We see ourselves as caretakers.
Custodians.
Exactly.
What's the most important thing for you of it?
It's the history. We started tours here in 1833 by candlelight originally, and visitors were brought down by wooden ladders. And that continued until the 1970s. And my father, Jackie English, he decided to develop it. So he installed an electric lighting system with the help of his friends. They brought all the concrete down by buckets. And
brought the concrete down by buckets?
Buckets, yeah.
My goodness, that was some job, wasn't it?
Years. It took about 7 years.
Oh, but it was a labour of love, I presume,
exactly.
was it? Yeah. I've heard of concerts taking place here.
Yeah, the cave is famous for its acoustics.
Slow is the morning too. I got no money.
Singing is probably the best sound. We had more unusual events. We had a pop-up restaurant down there a few years ago. There was an 8-course meal served 200 feet over the ground. We did cinema night a few weeks ago. That was a fantastic success.
Really?
Yes,
and I expected it to be cold, but it's not.
Oh, it was 12 degrees. Never changes. So if you come in the middle of winter, it's warm. Come in the summer, it's cold.
Now that this is part of the Munster Vales, you'll probably have a different kind of tourist, will you?
Hopefully, yeah. There's a lot in the area. You have Care Castle, the Rocket Castle, half an hour away of Doneraile Park. So.
Do you have a particular stalagmite or stalactite that you, are very fond of?
I think this one here is probably the most famous in Europe. Is a Tower Babel.
Is that what it's called, the Tower Babel?
That started like one of those small stalactites up there, and it's a few inches every 1,000 years.
Every 1,000 years?
So that's,
oh my goodness, when you think of it.
It's tens of thousands of years old at least.
Oh my goodness, we are just the blink of an eye, aren't we?
Drop of water down here, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. From underground to dizzying heights, I've come to the V to meet a keen walker, Liam Fleming. Liam, you only have to take one look around you here to know that it's a wonderful place for walking.
Yeah, just we're in a pure mecca here. Like we're situated here in the National Downs, and we're looking down there in the V Valley, and you can see everything all around the Galtee Mountains, the Camera Mountains, National Downs, Slievenamon. So we're just absolutely blessed with what we have here on our doorstep.
Certainly are. Is it a popular place with walkers?
Yeah, it's become hugely popular now over the last couple of years. Like you come here, especially the weekend time, and you'll see droves of people in here every weekend out in the mountains. Just nice gentle hill walks, and it's really become really popular.
For people who'd come here to go walking, they'd want somewhere to rest afterwards. What are the facilities like in the area?
Yeah, there's a number of different accommodation facilities here, like B&Bs, Airbnbs, there's hotels out the road, and then we've a lovely eco hostel here in Claheen itself, the Sallows.
I'm looking at your jacket there, Shul Ella, and that's an initiative that you've come up with. But that's not for visitors, it's really for locals, isn't it?
Yeah, that's primarily aimed at locals, I suppose. It's set up, it's a social enterprise really for what we do is we use the underutilised kind of local environment there to set up walking programmes, and we've set up a number of innovative walking programmes and events. It's aimed for local communities to live quality, healthy lives, socialise together, and to combat isolation really, which is becoming a problem area for rural areas, particularly, I suppose.
And I suppose that there's lots of people who live in the area and kind of don't realise it's on their doorstep.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose the way modern Ireland has gone now, we're rushing from one place to the next, and so we've forgotten exactly what's on our doorstep. It's taking down the country lanes or the forest paths that are only a couple of miles away from the doorstep, and so I suppose we set up these programs, and people are just amazed, at actually what is on their doorstep.
Yeah.
That they've found all these places that they've never actually seen before in their life.
Well, I've come down from the mountains, Katie Daly, from the Knockmeal Downs, and here we are now on the banks of the lovely Blackwater at Villierstown. Because you might think that the Munster Vales is all about dry land. Well, you would be wrong. We're going to go out now on the river, and the person who's going to bring us out is Vinnie Murnan. Vinnie, what's the name of your group?
We're Blackwater Eco Tours, Marion.
Okay, and this is your base?
This is. So
it's lovely. It's a very pretty little place. So we're off, Vinnie, on our river eco trip. What kind of things are we going to be seeing?
So I suppose there's an abundance of wildlife here, Mary. I suppose the area itself is a special area of conservation. So I suppose obviously we have the elusive otter, a lot of heron and kind of other wildlife. I suppose like that further upriver we have peregrine falcon and other birds of prey, a couple of buzzards. I suppose itself then a part of the conservation, you have the old oak woodlands of Dromana. Oh, beautiful. And again in there you have like the likes of the long-eared owl, the jay. You have a lot of other woodland birds that you'd common to see. Obviously you have the deer and stuff there too.
Yeah. When you're giving these tours, are you telling people about the things that we're, passing by? And
yes, yeah. So I suppose we place a lot of emphasis on the archaeological and the architectural heritage of the area. I suppose also we like to give the human story that goes with that. I suppose, as you know from or your viewers will know from other programs, Waterford is where Ireland begins. So I suppose we see here we have from prehistoric up through the early Christian onto Vikings, the Norman invasions, and the telltales of these are all left here behind between the various towers.
You see them as you're going around towers and stuff? Yeah.
Certainly, yeah. So one of the first houses you'll meet on our trip is Campfire House. So this is it here behind you, yeah. So originally built as a keep for the Vikings around 800. It's then developed into what it is today, a stately home. It's renowned for its Campfire International Horse Trials, an event that takes place in July each summer.
Oh, sorry, didn't Princess Anne used to come over to that?
She did, and in most recent years we've had Zara Phillips competing here. Yeah, so it's quite a remarkable event, to be honest. Again, all community driven.
Is it?
Certainly.
You must have a very strong community spirit in Villierstown, have you?
I think like other areas in West Water or in the county in general, there's quite a lot of communities working hard, I suppose, week in, week out, behind the scenes that we probably don't realise as much as what they're trying to do. Obviously they work with the stakeholders and the state agencies, but I suppose from their own, they know best what their own village and town needs, and they kind of strive and work towards that,
Yeah, because it's just beautiful around here. What are those mountains up there?
So you have the Knockmeal Downs, and I suppose like that, with the Munster Vales experience now, it really opens up a whole new cohort of people that we may be able to tap into down here.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's you have your Knockmeal Down, but again, like we say here, from the V to the C, there's a lot to explore down the valley itself here.
It's a bit of a hidden gem, isn't it?
Well, we kind of try to have it that way, I suppose, not intentionally, but that's the way it has developed. I suppose where we see ourselves is kind of a lovely kind of quiet area. I suppose it's where Ireland's ancient east meets the wild Atlantic way, so we're hidden away here, and it's a lovely place to come just for a stop off as you're passing through, really,
Because really there is nothing nicer, is there, than seeing the land from the water.
It's a completely different experience,
Totally,
like that. It's probably unspoiled and untouched. It's probably what the Vikings looked at as they passed along the river, apart from the odd 20 great houses that have now been erected along there. But yeah, it's quite remarkable,
lovely.
Beautiful place.
Okay, Billy, thanks very much.
You're
that
more
was
than welcome,
really,
Mary.
really very nice. Gosh,
Hope
we've
you
had
enjoyed this.
loads. We've done loads of things on the Munster Vales so far. We've had the mountains, we've had caves, we've gone from the V to the C, as you said. Going to take a break now, and we have lots more to show you and to travel along. But you know what? After a lovely trip on there, wouldn't a cup of tea be lovely?
How bad,
Do you have
yeah?
a kettle in your
We
place?
certainly have.
Right,
We'll
let's
stick
go
it on
do
to you
that. I
there
think
now.
that's a good idea.
An Irish Euro Millions winner has today bought a Mediterranean island and donated it to the nation. He's here with me now. Congratulations, you bought an island for Ireland. How's that going to work? Sure, we'll figure it out.
Big enough to go island shopping. Play Euro Millions today via the app, in-store or at lottery.ie.
Now get 3 Pampers Jumbo Plus packs for the price of 2 in the Dunnes Stores Mega Mix and Match offer. Dunnes Stores, always better value.
Get comfortable investing with Irish Life Maps, starting with 3 clear and easy steps. First, get your investor profile matched to the fund for you, then see your expected range of returns. Start your journey online today, or ask your financial broker or advisor about Irish Life Maps. We know Irish Life. We are Irish Life.
Every time you make it Maldron, you save a tenner.
You don't actually save a tenner. You save a tenner. Like 10 euros. It's good though that you did that.
Make it Maldron. Save a tenner. Book now at maldronhotels.com.
Bring us up!
Committed to the community. Dedicated to the team. This is what we're made of.
You're welcome back to Nationwide and to this special programme about the Munster Vales. Now, we have left the River Blackwater in County Waterford behind us, and we're now in North Cork, near Mallow, at Ballyhass Lake. We're still staying with the water, Owen McCarthy, and this is your family business.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been kind of here for about 20 years now, and you can kind of see there's lots of action in the background.
So much going on.
We do offer quite a lot.
On the water and off the water.
Yeah, absolutely. Like right at the moment, we kind of very much specialise in land, water and height-based activities. We really kind of push large group outdoor experiences. We're all about quality outdoor instructor-led experiences, you know, so we try to get them in from all over the country, and they might come in for a full day from 9:30 to 4 o'clock and experience a variety of different activities suitable from 8 years up, but you know, young and old alike really enjoy it, you know.
It's a fabulous setting, and the lake is huge.
Absolutely.
Where did the lake happen from?
Well, it was actually it's an old disused quarry that we purchased about 20 years ago now. The fishing really took off. We built 11 self-catering holiday homes over on the lake edge to cater for the fishing holidays. And then around 2006.
Pump the water in?
No, it's natural water table, so it's just what you see is basically rainwater, like, so it rises and falls throughout the season, like, you know. So yeah, it's a lovely natural resource that you know has become what might be a hazard in other areas has become a real local amenity to the area, like.
Let's go.
Are you constantly evolving and adding on bits and pieces?
Absolutely. I think what you see back here, this is Ireland's kind of largest cable wakeboarding facility. We added this about 4 or 5 years ago, and that was to cater for the individuals that started coming through, because we used to just take groups, and then more and more wanted to come back with their families and their friends, and we had, you know, not a whole pile to offer because we were all designed around groups. So this has been added, and now, you know, the locals will come down 3-4 times a week, actually go training on the facility, get better and better. It's all one-on-one coached, and that was one of really kind of changed what we did here and really expanded our offerings, like, you know. And then finally last year we put in just out of view on the other side there is one of like Munster's largest inflatable water parks. So think there's slides, trampolines, balance logs, and that was incredibly popular. Like, you know, I mean, we had about 30,000 day visits last year, and we're hoping to get up to about 40,000 this year as well. Like, you know, so it's been expanding for sure.
And I'm sure being part of Munster Vales will broaden your
Munster
reach as well.
Massively, and I think it's been such a great initiative and pushed so well. And like for local businesses like us, like we're not quite on the Wild Atlantic Way, and which is an amazing promotion by Fáilte Ireland. But it's hard for us to take advantage of it. So something like the Munster Vales that are concentrating from inside out, if you like, has been a huge boon for us. And the guys doing it have been, really proactive and really helpful for us as a small business provider.
Mixing food production with a tourism experience. I've come to visit Maurice Gilbert at the Ballyhowra Apple Farm.
Hello, Mary.
How are you?
Welcome to Kilfinnan.
Thank you very much. And
You're more than
Ballyhowra Apple Farm.
Ballyhowra Apple Farm, yeah. We're here for the last couple of years. We moved our orchard a few years ago from Churchtown to Kilfinnan due to a number of reasons. But we were lucky enough then to acquire this premises, which was an old Shannon development premises.
It's lovely because I see your logo is Apple Farm, like the old days, a taste of bygone days.
A taste of bygone days,
and
exactly.
There is a kind of a nostalgic feel to this whole place, isn't there?
There is, and I think that is what we tried to achieve, and I suppose I pulled on a little bit of the experience I had at carpentry in a former life.
Really?
Because I was involved in construction until 2009 when the collapse came into the building industry.
And is that when you decided to go into the apple farming?
Well, yes, I looked around at what assets we had, and we had an orchard to work with, and I started doing juice. We started with plain juice, and then when the market for that was dying away towards the end of the year, we came up with a mulled apple juice. We took that to Bloston here and got silver for best new product.
I see you've got loads of prizes around the place.
We have quite a lot of awards.
And this is very popular nowadays, isn't it? We're all supposed to be having apple cider vinegar, aren't we?
The cider vinegar. Well, I suppose that. We have this one which we are producing here now in Kilfinnan, and this is our basic apple cider vinegar, premium product, completely natural. A huge amount of health benefit.
And you also have your eye on the fact that this is, I suppose now part of the Munster Vales, but very touristy because you have a kind of a visitor experience.
We have, because we'll say on our own premises we bring people in, and we've brought several coachloads of culinary arts students in particular, and we tell them our story, how we got going and what we do here, the development of our various products. But we also have the likes of the hostel down the road, which is a brilliant experience for anybody coming to town. We have shooting out the road at the Clay Pigeon Shoot, we have horse riding, and of course the mountain bike trail is one of the big things around here.
And it's an area of archaeological interest as well, isn't it?
It is, because right adjacent to our property, if you just look out the door there, Mary, you'll see the moat, which is, in my opinion, 4,000 to 5,000 years old, and there are huge archaeological remains around that.
That'll be interesting.
It will. We're not on a beaten track, so we have to have a destination, and that was our thinking when we were here. That we would be able to cater for people, we would be able to get them in, and give them the experience of the apple farm.
I hear a few little whispers over the partition here. You've got people in.
We have, Mary, and we're going to give them a little tasting if you'd like to join us.
I really would. Come on, I believe you have them starved in case their taste buds would be affected. Is that it?
Exactly. Would you like to sit here, Mary?
I will.
Follow the sun, which way the wind blows, when this day is done.
And so we come to the end of this evening's programme. I hope you've enjoyed our journey around the Munster Vales. There's a lovely little brochure here that I picked up, and it gives you all of the options that are on offer. There's the mountains, there's the caves, there's the river, there's the apples, there's beautiful little villages. A really nice addition, I think, to the tourism options for this country, and I will be putting it on the list of jaunts for this summer. But seeing as we're finishing off in the Ballyhowra Apple Farm, sure, you'd have to have a little glass in your hand. Apple juice, slide to one.